John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. As you know, I've not been able to attend all the meetings on different things, one of which is the homeless center. But I do read the newspaper. I spend hours at the library going over the 3 weeks that I'm not here. And I'm a bit concerned about it. 3 people, one of which I did not know from a hole in the wall, stopped me and made comments about the project in 2 other cities. And he said, do your homework, look at what happened in those cities. And it reminded me of going through this several years ago with Manny Bornia. When Manny Bornia came before us, he was the great savior for the city of Daytona Beach and the project we had with the London Symphony. And we were supposed to take everything for granted. There were rumors about problems in Palm Beach and in Fort Lauderdale. And then they said, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Well, then it came to fruition that all of that we should have worried about. And it had not been for Sheila McKay, would have been really over our head because she demanded a limit. I'm asking you to, one, do your due diligence. I don't know if this is a good or bad project. I know it has morphed. It was supposed to be a jail diversion, and now it's much more, and we may need it. I'm not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent. I'm asking you to do your due diligence and don't accept everything at face value, to look at it as something that may or may not succeed here because of the distance, it's so far out west. So I'm asking you to look for any problems now and solve it in the process rather than trying to solve it after the fact. We did have a rude awakening with Manny. I don't want to go through that a second time. So please look at any problems that may exist somewhere else. Don't look at just all the successes. Look at any problems and solve them before we get hurt with it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Pete Gamble, and on deck is Anthony Woods.
Good evening. I come before you this evening because I want to bring something to you all's attention. For 70 years, you've had a housing authority here in Daytona Beach, a small business that has pumped millions and millions of dollars into this community. At the same time, it's also provided educational opportunities and activities for youth. In the last 3 weeks, the Housing Authority has been awarded a national award for some new construction that it's done, and last week it was awarded a statewide award for new construction that it has done. We need to recognize what we have here in Daytona Beach. It's a gem. Because the Housing Authority deals with people in many cases that are low income, we tend to look at it as something for poor people. It's for affordable housing. I need to make sure you understand that. It's affordable housing. And so the Housing Authority has built a new complex that has been awarded and recognized nationally, like I said, 2 weeks ago in Austin, Texas, out of 3,500 agencies in the United States, not just Florida. It was selected #1 for the construction and design of this complex. Last week, it was selected out of 125 complexes in the state of Florida for the construction and the things that it's done. I just want to bring that to your attention because we have a tendency to overlook what small agencies like a housing authority does in the community. And so I just want to bring that to your attention so that you know what you got here. As I said, you got a gem. Mr. Woods will come up and he'll talk more about it, but at the same time, you need to also know that in addition to the state award, took a bunch of kids out of our developments and went over and won the state basketball championship in Orlando last week. So this housing authority is pit against your Tampas, your Orlando, who Tampa's 12 times bigger than the Daytona Beach Housing Authority, has more resources, millions of dollars more resources. But this housing authority took kids and competed and won it for the second year in a row. And so we need to know what we got here in this community. And that's why I'm here tonight, to let you know what you got here in this community. You got a gem and you need to recognize it. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Mr. Gamble a question. Is it the same facility that won the national and the Florida award?
Yes,
and what facility is that?
It's on 9th Street, between 8th and 9th Street, and up behind, directly behind Derbyshire Plaza. Directly behind Derbyshire Plaza. Matter of fact, I think Mr. Wood's going to invite you all to come and take a look at it.
I want to say congratulations.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Traeger has seen it.
Okay.
Mr. Woods?
Greetings, Commission. If I gave my address, it would be 211 North Ridgewood, and I'm there so much. First, today is also my daughter's birthday. I thought I'd go ahead and get that out of the way. Yes, indeed. We received on Thursday, July 30th, a National NARO Award, as Mr. Gamble stated. It's not only nationwide, it's intercontinental as that goes, because we do have housing authorities that participate in NARO that are outside of the intercontinental United States. And also on Thursday, August 9th, we won the FARO Award. And the 125 is actually 125 housing authorities that we were competing against, but we were recognized. And the property is located in Commissioner Henry's district, Zone 5. It's Northwood 2, and the address is 1251 9th Street. Okay? And I welcome all of you to come and observe, review, and inspect. And I think you'd be proud of what we have been able to accomplish here in the city of Daytona Beach when so many other agencies are struggling to provide affordable housing. We are yet finding ways and means to forge forward. And I think you'll be most pleased with what you have there. Yes, we did win back-to-back championships. That is major. You wouldn't realize it was the third annual FARO, which is Florida Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials. It's where all 125 have the opportunity to participate, but only 8 teams were present. But of those 8, Daytona Beach, again, won the championship. So I encourage you to recognize, as Mr. Gamble stated, and appreciate, and you can do so, start by accepting my invitation to come and see the property. I believe that Commissioner Traeger has done so already, and so I want to extend that same invitation to all of you. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, and thank you for all that you all do and all that you do for our community.
Our next speaker is Mike Pastore, and on deck is Fred Hoffman.
Well, my birthday was yesterday. Michael Pastore, an ordained minister to the homeless. I'm known as Pastor Mike on Ridgewood Avenue. 400 Fremont Avenue is my address. My website is DaytonaHomeless.com. I co-host the radio forum Voices from Home on WELE. Also been appointed to the Homeless Justice Committee of the Volusia-Faggo chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union. As a minister, I see to the needs of the people on the street: food, water, clothing, shelter. This is somewhat of a small town. You know what I do and who I do it for. I'm still advocating for a shelter. I'm reserving comment for 60 days to allow Dr. Marbut to fulfill his obligations under the personal services contract concerning funding commitments. I do not believe it will change the outcome, however. While these efforts are moving forward, it is important to treat the homeless with respect and compassion. Not providing a safe and legal place to sleep is wrong and inhumane. I do not want to be accused of coddling criminals. Those who commit crimes must be punished. I put 2 of them in jail this month. I want to protect these individuals. I do not want to criticize the police because it is you people who sets the policy and the chief carries it out. Safe supervised shelter is the answer, but I'm troubled by the number of my friends arrested for trespassing while seeking a place to sleep. In your inbox is a request for a review of the police department's practices. 700 arrests in a year would appear to be excessive. Commissioner Woods can brief you on the situation concerning the police and the homeless in Sarasota. Pam, Ruth, Jim, Derek, Marie, Paula, Patrick, Rob. Please look into this, and if you agree that this is an overreach, then please put a stop to it. I want to spend my time serving my homeless brothers and sisters in a shelter, not in litigation. God bless.
Our next speaker is Fred Hoffman, and on deck is Marjorie Johnson.
Good morning, Fred Hoffman, 882 Coquina Drive. Some of you may know I have filed paperwork to run for mayor in 2016. When you lose, hide, misplace, or remove records, that's dishonest. You can't act one way and be another kind of person. And City Manager James Chisholm, when I'm mayor in 2016, you're fired. Mr. Mayor, Derek, Henry, I like you. You're a good guy, but you're not a businessman. You're a school teacher and a principal, and you have to drive all the way up to Putnam County every day and all the way back and teach those pesky school kids, and they can just wear you down. They can just wear you down. And you need plenty of sleep. So I'm going to ask everyone out here in the audience, all you commissioners, and the city attorney, and the city clerk, and everybody else, and all the people watching on TV, please don't wake up the mayor. He needs plenty of sleep. That's why when he sits up there, he can't ask questions because he's so tired. But I promise, when I'm mayor in 2016, I won't sleep, and I will ask plenty of questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Our final speaker is Marjorie Johnson.
Greetings, Mayor and City Commissioner. Marjorie Johnson, 122 South Keith Street. Disorderly conduct by public officials will not be tolerated. It's all about respect, and we want you to listen to our issues and our concerns and take action. At the last City Commission meeting, Commissioner Woods stated that the City of Daytona Beach give permits to the Salvation Army for the homeless, and that they are doing things to help the homeless. Commissioner Gilliland agreed with her remarks. It is troublesome to me that you at this City of Daytona Beach thinks that you are doing enough to help the homeless. You need to come up with some solutions. You need to step up, and you need to implement them as soon as possible. Homelessness should be your top priority of this city. And you need to make sure that you are doing something about it as soon as possible. Stop misleading the taxpaying citizens and residents of this community to make them think that you're doing more than you are. And you also committed her, Mayor Hendry. You are not doing enough. There is so much more that needs to be done to help these people. You need to follow the steps of the county. I am pleased with the county of Volusia and the steps that they are taking to help the homeless. So I encourage you to step up and support the homeless and get something done. Make it happen. I'm also concerned about an issue that I have brought before this commission concerning Wally Street and the tree that is blocking and the stop sign that's behind the tree. Nothing has been done about that. I've met with the city manager, and I gave him a list of issues that needed to be resolved, and that one was at the top of the letter. Top of the list that I gave him. Also, I'd like to thank you for going up and painting the curbs on Martin Luther King. They look very nice. You have taken care of that issue. Martin Luther King from Orange Avenue to the golf shady place looks good. So keep up the good work on that. Thank you.
That is our final speaker, Mr. Mayor.